Okay, the Lakers made the finals, but that's something that was a surprise to no one. Something that maybe was a surprise to a couple of people was the success of the Miami Heat. Before the 2020 season, this team was projected to be a 7th seed at most. Crazy how unpredictable things can be. Whether it's NBA standings or a meteor striking Earth that no one noticed until it was too late. But we can't really argue reality, and the reality of the situation is that the NBA Finals would be a matchup between the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Luke, and if you're new, make sure to press that red thing down below and like the video too. It really helps me grow as a creator, so you better do it right now, man. But enough of that, let's get into this 2020 NBA Finals analysis and preview. Now let's be honest with ourselves. The NBA needs to implement a rule that in the back of our heads we all know needs to be added. A rule that abolishes conferences from the NBA. So technically it's just getting rid of a rule, not really implementing one, but the point of all this is there's no team in the East that can take down the Los Angeles Lakers. Conferences are just a stupid concept in itself, but that's a topic for another video. I want to start by acknowledging the greatness of the Denver Nuggets. They made true history coming back from a 3-1 lead twice in the same playoff run. They were the only team to do that in NBA history, while beating a team who was favored to win it all. A team with just one All-Star, Jamal Murray, and role players took on the competition of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and showed more passion and heart and came out with the win. So we gotta give them credit for showing out. Okay, sure, the Miami Heat have better role players than this Lakers team, but the star power on the Lakers makes up for the lack of talented role players. And if I'm speaking truthfully, as a Lakers fan, this team really came together in the playoffs, and we've seen role players really step up. But with the blossoming of our role players, let's not forget that there's no one in the NBA who can match up with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But if there's one team that matches up the best, we all know it would be the Los Angeles Clippers. But we all know what happened there. And yes, the system for the Lakers in the finals is going to be the same, but it's going to be an extreme version of their usual system. Get ready for Bron and AD to generate about 70 of the Lakers' points. Frank Vogel's going to play through his stars as much as he can because this Heat team has no one to contain them, and they'll probably throw Jimmy Butler on LeBron and Bam on AD, which is easily the best matchup for them. But it won't be enough to stop the talents of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, two players who will go down as all-time greats. But look, I do have to give a round of applause to this Miami Heat ball club, as LeBron would say. Ball club. Before the playoffs started, I said that the Heat were the most underrated team in the East. And before you guys call cap, I have evidence from a podcast I was on a couple of months ago. But one thing that I did not predict was a finals appearance from this team. I could say that truthfully. During the playoffs, we saw this Heat team make all the right matchups and shifts defensively, and that's what really led them to prevailing. Everyone stepped up and worked together, but with the way the NBA works nowadays, this Cinderella story will come to an end. Now, I know you guys might have came here for some outlandish opinion, but that sadly won't be the case today. Tyler Hero will not be having another 37-point game in the NBA Finals. I expect some sort of defensive committee to be played on Tyler. Trust me, Danny Green, KCP, and Caruso will always be switching. And while offensively those three may only play the role of role players, defensively it is a completely different story. So far in the playoffs this year, this backcourt tandem is matched up against Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Jamal Murray. And without their defensive clutchness, the Lakers would not be where they are right now. And this will be the case for the finals as well. If these three don't show up defensively, it is going to be difficult to handle this Heat team. And trust me, Eric Spoelstra is aware of the Lakers strategy and system, and he will do everything in his power to combat it, but there's only so much he can do and control. While we're on the topic of defense, let's take a look at the Lakers' all-around defensive system. We have the defensive player of the year, in my opinion, in Anthony Davis, and over the season he has continuously made stop after stop on the opposing team's best players. So look for him to be on Bam Adebayo the majority of the series. Since the Heat are a team who usually have a good balance of three-point shooting and driving to the paint, it'll be harder to game plan for them. The weird thing about this Heat team is they have players that can only shoot and players that can only score in the paint. Unlike the Houston Rockets, while yes, the Rockets do have some sharpshooters, their offense runs through two players who do a lot of shooting and driving. But when you look at the Miami Heat, they have Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jay Crowder, and Kelly Olynyk. These are all players who just shoot. And then you have players like Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Derrick Jones Jr., and Andre Iguodala, who are mainly slashers and like to drive. So when it comes to this series, the Lakers are going to have to game plan for specific players in specific ways. They can't game plan for a team system because the Heat don't really have one. They just have a lot of players who specialize in a lot of different things. We also got to remember that there will be a coaching advantage in this series. Erik Spoelstra is a 4-time championship winning coach with loads of experience under his belt, so he's been in the spotlight before, unlike someone like Frank Vogel. I do believe in Vogel though. I really do think he is a good coach, and he's very good at adjusting to the situation at hand. So my final prediction for the series is Lakers in 5 or 6. I'd say 6 to be generous. Kind of just like what happened in the Nuggets series. One thing that the Lakers team can't do is take the Miami Heat softly, and they know that, trust me. Just like how they knew not to take the Nuggets softly. The Heat will come out with energy right out the gate, and the Lakers need to be prepared for that, which I know they will. They're not stupid, they're not robots. But anyways guys, that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to do all that good stuff in the comments down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell thing. I'll see you guys in the next one.